Grab. See if we can get in here. Alright friends, the lubrication tank is getting low, and usually by this time of year I'm using nothing but water with the cotton gin lubricant, but that's not the case this year. The date is April the 2nd, and we're supposed to be getting some snow in 2 days. It's going to be down in the 20s at night. Crazy, crazy weather for this time of year. So since that's going to be coming up here in about 2 days, I'm still going to be using this windshield washer fluid until we move that cold front. And hopefully after that, I'll be done with this stuff for the year and I can get back to using water for the spring and summer. So down in the comments, a lot of you guys have been asking me about this little spindle lubricant and detergent that I use. It's made by AG Smart, and I get mine from an agricultural store. I think they're down in Arkansas. That's the closest I could find. None of my local co-ops had this stuff. And I really don't measure the mixture. Like you see, I just splash some in there, and it's usually enough to help keep the pitch off the blade, especially with pine. Now when it comes to keeping pitch off your blade, this doesn't work as good as diesel, but it works almost as good as diesel. And that's good enough for me because I don't saw a ton of pine here at my mill. But this stuff is cheap, guys. I get it in 1 gallon jugs. The only thing that stinks about it is the shipping costs. I think the shipping on this costs more than the actual product, and I buy a case at a time. It lasts me probably a year or 2. I don't use a whole lot of it. Now for you guys down in Georgia and places that saw a lot of yellow pine, sometimes that's all you're sawing. A case probably won't last you that long. Well, I wasn't watching what I was doing. I need to put 1 more gallon in here. 1 gallon is not enough. All right, friends, real fast, the first thing I need to do is knock out these 2 cedar logs. The one on the loading arms is kind of small. We'll get a 4x4 on that one. Then over here on the one behind it, we'll do 2x6s on it. And then I think I'll get these cedars right here and move them out of the way because I'm tired of sawing cedar, to be honest with you. I need to bring some walnut up here. And on the sawmill today, we got a Joe Maine Silvertip Turbo 7. If you want to try out those blades, call Joe Maine. His cell phone number is in the video description. And why do I say that in every video? Is because I get emails weekly, people asking where I get my blades from. Call Joe Maine, he'll take care of you. right, guys, got those two knocked out. And here's what we're gonna do next. I've got a few more cedar back here. This one on the top, as you can see by those voids right there, I really don't want to fool with that one today, but the two on the bottom would go pretty fast. We'll get some 4x4s out of it, so I'll probably take this one out of the way, grab those two, move them closer to the saw, and then there's one more right here in the front, but I think it's got some voids and a crotch at the very top of it. I'll probably move that out of the way as well. I'll tell you what, friends, it is a windy day here in Northeast Tennessee. Hello, ladies, got the chickens out here with me. And they're saying we're supposed to have some really bad storms tonight and maybe a few tornadoes. Hopefully that's not the case. We're surrounded by a lot of mountains, and I think that protects us from tornadoes around here as far as getting those with these bad storms. But it has been known to happen sometimes. And to sort logs today, we're going to be using my TYM 5835. This is the tractor that I got last, I think last December is when Oneida Equipment brought it over. I can't remember. This tractor is 58 horsepower. It's got a power shuttle and just a ton of room right here in the cab area. The only improvement I think TYM can make to this tractor is if they offered it with a cab. Although I didn't want a cab, I was wanting another tractor without a cab, but that would be a good option for some of you guys that like cab tractors. I like this tractor almost as much as a 754. Almost. It's a really good tractor. And I need to put some hours on it, guys. I've only got 10 hours on it so far. Well, it will get some work this summer though, as soon as hay season starts. Friends, down here in the log yard, we're going to start on this black walnut next. I mentioned this in a previous video. These are customer logs, and the sky is looking kind of bad. Hopefully we don't get rained out today, but in case we do, let's throw a good one on there. This crotch walnut right here in the front, that right there should be a really nice log. It's kind of a short one, but we should have some fantastic crotch figure right there in the middle. See if we can grab this one and take it up to the mill. Sometimes these smaller logs are hard to grab. See if we can get in here. Well, looky there, first time. Usually takes me 2 or 3 attempts on these crotch logs. Good deal. All right, friends, this is black walnut. It's a 5-footer. And these shorter logs are kind of aggravating to get clamped on the sawmill. You got to use these manual bat stops right here because the hydraulic ones are too far apart. But I don't do a lot of short logs, so it's not really a big deal, but I wouldn't want to do these all the time for that reason. There is a void right here I didn't notice earlier. It goes in about 10 inches. And it's kind of near the heart right there, or the pith rather. Have to keep a watch on that and see what happens right there. But the good stuff is right here on top, and that's the crotch right here. Now our width down here is about, let me see, about 29 inches. The crotch is right here on the top. And guys, I'm not sure how many slabs with nice crotch figure we will get out of this. I couldn't tell when this was on the ground, but this crotch wood is not too thick right here. I would say we might get 2 9/4 slabs out of that, maybe. And then we're just gonna have straight grain slabs as far as that goes. But we may see some decent figure right here, but I'm not sure. But we may get some decent crotch figure right here once we make our open and face cut. And as we go down, start doing our 9/4 slabs. These will be live edge, 9/4 on the thickness. If you're new to this channel, that's 2 inches and 1/4 on the thickness. We should get about maybe 5 slabs out of this log, and that will probably be it. This is a customer log. And as far as the end use goes, if this was mine, coffee tables. So here's what we're looking at. Right there is the crotch. And normally, you want this split to go all the way down and be a nice solid piece right here, matching this part of the log. This one's kind of small, and there's a bark inclusion right there on the top. So there's not a whole lot of room right there to get some figured slabs. I think we'll see 1, maybe 2, but at least 1, but not the usual 4 or 5. And this is a customer log, like I was saying, but I'm not sure where it came from. Hopefully, there's no metal in it. And with walnut, you'll usually see a stain on the end grain, which will tell you there's a nail in it or something. And I don't see nothing on the outside. All right, friends, we got 2 slabs cut. Our width down here at the crotch is about 24 inches, so not too bad. Now I've got a lot of sawdust built up on here because I go really slow when I do live edge slabs. This is a customer log. I want it to be really nice and flat so they come back again. So I go slower on these slabs. If this was my personal log, I probably would have went a little bit faster. But it really doesn't matter on these live edge slabs, friends. You're not in really production mode, in my opinion, when you're doing them, because you got to go slow to make sure you stay nice and flat, because these are so valuable. You don't want to waste any of the lumber, or any of the wood rather. That sounds a lot better. Any of the wood. Look over me. It's been a long day. A little bit of a washboard right there, but not too bad. And if you see this little dark area right there, I had to slow down on that cut because the debarker got wedged in right here. When you're using a debarker on these Wood-Mizers and the log gets wider, sometimes it gets wedged in like this little curve right there. That's what happened. Therefore, I had a little bit of a burr mark right there with the blade. No big deal. After kiln drying and planing, that will be gone forever. Check that out. Boy, that's unique right there. Got some fantastic crotch figure right there in the middle. It's been a long time since we've done crotch walnut on this channel. And back in the day, I used to do stuff like this weekly here on this channel. Been way too long. Man, that looks good right there. Let's throw some water on it and make it pop. All right, friends, this should be a good one.